So we're going to work on our mental calculation skills, and we're going to be adding numbers efficiently and quickly. Now, before I go too much further, I just want to say, look, there are so many different ways that you could do questions like these and other simple basic questions that you would expect to be done in your head. I'm going to show you a couple of ways, of course, but really there are lots of different ways that you could approach any of these questions. And what is important is that you learn as big a range as you can anyway, a range of mental calculation skills, approaches, strategies, so that you can cope without too much trouble with a huge range of possible contexts, not just in lessons, but in real life as well. I'll just give myself a quick shout out. So this website up here, www.learnersgrid.com, that's my website. You can go there for lots of different subjects, English, science, maths, history, whatever, and a range of worksheets, activities. If you're a teacher, it's great. Lots of worksheets for you there, lots of activities for students, and there's some fun games there as well, including for maths and including for this particular video, where you can go to the correct page, and you can find additional videos, work solution videos for additional practice, plus worksheets and whatever else may be there. So let's get on to approaching these kinds of questions. And I'm just going to move question number 2 out of the way. And let's have a go at question number 1 and see what we have in front of us. So what we do have in front of us is 36 plus 42 plus 38 plus 41. Now you can see that those numbers are kind of grouped close together, which opens it up for a variety of other approaches. So the first approach I'll have a go at, though, is just breaking things down into their place values and seeing if there's any joy that I can get from that. So what I'm going to do is look in the units column, so the 6, the 2, the 8, and the 1. And what I'm looking for is, are there any digits there? Are there any numbers in those place values that can make a number bond of 10? Well, the immediate one that leaps out is the 2 and the 8, right? So 2 plus 8, that makes 10. So I want to use that. So these guys are gone. Then I've got 40 left and 30 on this side. 40 and 30, that's 70. And so immediately 70 plus 10, I know that this bit here is worth 80. So that's going to be part of my answer. What I've got left is 36 and 41. If I look at the units, 6 and 1, well, that's kind of good as well, because at least it doesn't go over 10 and make things awkward. So 6 and 1 is 7. And I have 3 and 4, which is another 7. In other words, it's 70, right? But 70 plus 7 is 77, so I can take a shortcut. And I've got that. So 80 plus 77, what is 80 plus 77? Well, for sure, you can sort it out like this. If you really wanted to, on a bit of paper, you could. In your head, you could do that. What you could do is break down the 77, right? So you could say 80 plus 70. That makes it a lot easier, because that's 150. And then I just add the 7 that I took off. Right? So the final answer is 157. So that's one way of doing that kind of problem. Another way you could approach this kind of problem, because these are all quite bunched together in terms of their value, right? There's 36, 42, 38, 41. They're all really close to like 40. So you could round all of these numbers off to 40. So if I do that, so 40, 40, 40, 40, and then go, what's the difference between 40 and 36? Well, I've minused 4 there. I've added 2 here, I've minus 2 here, and I've added 1 here. And then I just add all these numbers up here. So minus 4 plus 2, right? If I have minus 4 plus 2, that's minus 2. Minus 2 is minus 4, plus that gives me minus 3. So whatever I do here, it's going to be minus 3 ultimately. So 40, 40, 40, I could add them, or I could just go, right, 40 times 4 in my head. So 40 times 4 in my head, that should give me 160, right? So it's 160 minus 3, which was the differences, which is the sum of all the differences. And I end up with 157, which is the correct answer. So I could do it like that. Another approach could be, I'm just going to not worry too much about the consequences, but I'm just going to like group these two numbers together and deal with them. And then I want to group these numbers and deal with them, and then deal with the sums of those two numbers. Let's have a go at that approach. So if I do that, I'm going to go 6 and 2 is 8, and 4 and 3 is 7, so 78 for that lot. And here I'm going to go 8 and 1 is 9, 4 and 3 is 7, so I have 78 plus 79. I'll make it even easier on myself. I'll separate these into their place values, so 70 and 70 is 140, and then 8 and 9 is 17, and I can immediately see that that's going to be 157. You could do it like that as well. So let's deal with the second question. So because these are all very close in value, I guess, I'm going to round them all off to, let's say, 80. So 80, 80, 80, 80. So you can all do this in your head, but I'm just writing it all out. So this is a difference of 0. From 80 to 82, you add 2. From 80 to 76, you minus 4. And from 80 to 88, you add 8. So if I add all these guys up, I've got 2 plus 8 is 10 minus 4. So 10 minus 4 is plus 6. So now all I have to do is go 80 plus 80 plus 80 plus 80, but I'll just multiply it, right? So 80 times 4. What's 4 times 8 is 32. Add the 0, so it's 320. So 320 plus 6 is 326. That's our answer. Okay, you might decide here's a different way to do it. Just start at one end and go to the other end. Let's see how that might look. So I'm just going to start at this end and deal with all the tens first. So 8, 8, 7, 6. So 8 and 8 is 160. With a 7, that's going to be 70, right? So it's 230. Plus that is going to be 310. Okay, that, what I meant was another 80. So that gives me 310. And then all I'm going to do is go through and add up all the units. So 2 and 6 is 8. And another 8 is 16, so 16, 310 plus 16 equals 326. So that's kind of more of an advanced method because you really have to be good at adding. But that is another method. And of course, the other way to do is look for my easy wins. So I've got a 2 here and an 8 here, which makes 10. And I've got 8 plus 8, which is 80 plus 80 is 160. So I know that I've immediately got 170, and I've dealt with these two guys. Then I've got 6 and 0 is 6, and I've got 70 plus 80, well, that's 150, so that's 156. And then 156, I can just go 150, right, to make that there, plus 6. So that's going to be, if I do that really, actually, you know what, this is actually quite awkward. So I'm going to go 150 plus 150. So I'm going to add 20. So it'll be 150 plus 150, which is 300. And then I just add 26. So 300 plus 26 is 326.